Okay, guys, what's up? It's Mark. You haven't seen me in a little bit, so yeah, this is what I look like without hair. I just wanted to say to everybody, it's been a while since the Golden Mic has been on, and I'm going live today because I'm so excited about our guest, Jasmin. But I also wanted to say to each and every one, I hope that you're taking care of yourselves. I hope you're taking care of each other, and there's a lot of peace and love and happiness stuff going on. And also at the same time, I hope you're taking advantage of this thing right here. It's a microphone, and it gives you agency to speak with power and also change some of the dynamics in the world. And also change things if you feel like you're in a place where you can't change things. So with that said, I'm about to go into character. You'll see me, I'm the loud screaming guy in a second. You'll see me with Jasmin. You're going to see why this is such a special episode. Let's take it away. Bye, guys. Boom.
What is shaking? Are there angels watching this right now?
Yeah, of course.
Are they cracking up?
Yeah, they're having a blast.
You can't escape the pull of the Golden Mic, sister.
Let's make some music.
Get butt naked, look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself your story matters.
This is my place. My place is to highlight amazing freaking people.
What is shaking?
What is shaking, everybody? Dude, that's my line. I want you to smash it, Trisha Brooke. And channeling you today.
Oh my God! And she's like, I'm going through menopause.
I love this show. I love this show. You understand me? I'm so excited that my folks are not watching this show right now because they totally get on my case to go back to school and finish my med school degree. The Golden Mic Live! Did you think that I was gonna change Lobster Bird? I want you to crumple up your notes in front of you. Now we're gonna go and deviate from the script.
I'm the universe. What is shaking, y'all? It's the Golden Mic 216. The world flipping upside down isn't gonna stop me. This earpiece isn't gonna stop me. And today, if the live show wasn't already dominant, we have an unfair advantage today on the live show. We have Jasmin Manke, who has been in IPEC with me, international coach, programs her Amazon to give her love letters every morning. It's amazing. Jasmin helps especially women overcome fear, start moving towards success, because success is inevitable if you make it. And also at the same time, this is where I nerd out. She's a neuroscientist. Oh, neuroscience. Jasmin, how are you today?
Oh my God, I love you, Mark. You're awesome. Thank you for the fun introduction. It completely set the tone, and I really believe in that, you guys. The kind of energy you go into things is how the energy is going to show up, and I 100% believe that if you want to make success inevitable, it will be. And I literally said that to one of my clients just a moment ago. So I love it.
I just hit the record button on my Rode because this is probably going to be soundbite after soundbite. So I'm turning on the podcast equipment right now because you just nailed that. I absolutely agree. When COVID came in, I think a lot of people went into this place of either a victim mentality or fear. And what we're really talking about today is this idea of why now, specifically now more than ever, is the best time to think about leveling up. Now's the best time to scale your business. And we're going to talk about this for the whole episode, y'all. We're going to talk about mindset. We're going to talk about some strategies. We're going to talk about whatever Jasmin wants to talk about. Now, for those of you who haven't met me, my name is Mark Cordone. I am a positive psychology coach. I am the founder of the Joy Revolution. But the coolest thing is on a regular basis, on a daily basis. I get to ask my family, I get to ask my friends, I get to ask my colleagues, and my new friend, Jasmin, 2 questions, basically. And the 2 questions, it's so easy to be a positive psychologist. Well, kind of, but kind of not. But it basically comes down to these 2 things. How happy are you today? And how much are you living in your purpose? So, Jasmin, it's been over 3 months, baby, that I've asked that question. How happy are you today, and how much are you living in your purpose?
So I really feel like today is a really new beginning. I don't know how to explain it. It's not a new month. It's not a new it's Tuesday. It's not even like a Monday or something. But I've made some really pretty big shifts and choices in my own personal life and business life that now actually help me step up and level up to the next life. So you guys, if you want to make a change in your life, just take that chance right now and decide for it. So I definitely would say I'm like a 9 out of 10 today. I'm fucking happy. I really am happy.
So everybody, Carmen, I just saw you log in. It's good to see people again. It's good to be interacting with people. Social distancing doesn't mean emotional distancing. Joshua, good to see you, brother. It doesn't mean that we have to be distanced like this from each other. So if you're feeling it, if you're feeling happy today, regardless of the things that are happening out in the world, give me a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you are alive and you're not willing to live at the status quo that we're indoctrinated at. All right? Look at me. I'm coming out hard today. Now, the second thing is this. Jasmin, how much are you living in your purpose?
Every day, and you already said I train Alexa on Amazon to give me notifications every morning, and one of them definitely is, are you running a business? Or are you living your purpose? And I'm definitely living my purpose because I would choose what I do every single day over and over again, and I absolutely love it so much.
Wait, so what happens if you tell Alexa I'm running a business? Does she curse you out?
No. She asks me. It's like a reminder thing.
That's amazing. Walter here. Walter is from IPEC. Walter in Vancouver, it's good to see you, brother. And Ipetian is up in the house. Now, this is the thing. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this call and response with y'all. If you're feeling like you're living in your full purpose, give us a heart. How do you make that heart over there in Germany before you go over to London? How do you make that heart beat, Jasmin? I've seen you do it in pictures.
I usually go like this, Mark. This is
I can't do it like that. I can't do it like that. So make that heart. Let us know that your heart is beating. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people think that positive psychology, and one of your passions is neuroscience. You know this. A lot of misnomers is that this positive psychology stuff is all about shits and giggles and finding your purpose and woo. It's not. Positive psychology is really about how you can clearly handle the ups, downs, and all arounds of life. Now, the thing is that Jasmin, before we had a long conversation on our other podcast to talk about your life, and I'm gonna direct people there afterwards. But Jasmin, it hasn't been all shits and giggles. I haven't been all shits and giggles, and really the way that you navigate through life is how you determine your success. You can call it a day. You know, you can have the best goal in the world. You hit your first wall and you call it a day. Oh, I'm done. Where's the resilience in that? Where's the resilience? Where's the willpower? Where's the way power? And I hope we get to talk about that today. But there's another thing. This is the final thing, and we're going to talk about your story. For those of you who are hopeful, now this is not getting on your knees and wishing, oh God, give me a Lamborghini, and if you give me a Lamborghini, then I'm gonna stop cursing for 20 days, right? No, it's not making negotiations with the universe. It's straight up saying, this is where I'm going, and I'm taking little steps every single day to get there. That's hope theory. And when you're hopeful, you have a better chance of being successful and happier in life. So for those of you who are hopeful, I haven't done this in months, so I might strain a jaw. Someone might need to call 911 here. There's another button down there. I hope you guys have missed that button. I want you to hit it with me, and Jasmine's gonna make the face with me. It's called the wow face, and Jasmine and I are gonna do it right now to model it. Ready, Jasmine? Let's do it. Hit that wow face. I never thought Jasmine would be on this show, y'all, doing that. That's amazing. Now, Jasmine, we can direct you to the podcast after this, because your story is absolutely incredible in terms of your relationship with your father and losing your father, and then getting an ostensibly successful job in London and having a great, on paper, relationship, and really being in a physically and emotionally abusive one. And then in 24 hours you left and you changed it all. That's all in the podcast, people. Now we're in the here and now today. And so you talked about how you recently made some changes. What was it that was the uproot of these changes? Was it something internal, or was it something external that was going on?
So you can definitely only make external changes if you shift your internal energy. It's not a matter of actually saying things differently. It's just the way of you coming across, of having that energetic bound across you. It just kind of shifts internally. Like when you've had enough is enough. Like, I think we've all had that kind of point of time when we're just like, you know what? That time has passed now, and I'm ready for something new, and I'm no longer going to tolerate this kind of standards for myself. And your quality of life and everything is going to actually proportionately increase or decrease to the standards you have set for yourself, and also the level of success you choose. And I'm not just talking about financial success. I'm talking about physical happiness. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about everything you could potentially think about, of actually you setting that kind of standard for yourself. So by leveling up that standard of deciding, like, it all starts with a decision, right? When you decide and say, hey, you know what? I have had enough of this, and this is something I am no longer willing to tolerate. That is when you start to see external changes, because you're starting to focus on different things, and you are allowing different scenarios and environments to come into your life. So then you can make newer choices. Somebody's asking where to find the podcast. Are we going to give it at the end, or what should we do?
Well, we can totally give it at the end, but why don't you ask questions now of Jasmine? She's live and in person. It's called the Golden Mike Podcast, and we'll give the link out. It's just because it's not on the top of my mind, but Jasmine's live with us. This is where it's at right now.
Is it at Spotify? People are asking if it's on Spotify.
It's absolutely on Spotify, and it will be on Facebook. It will be everywhere soon. Yeah.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. So you can find on Facebook, Spotify. Just click Golden Mike Live, Jasmin Manke, and then you'll find it. Sorry, guys. And feel free to ask any questions. I'm sure we can answer them right now.
This is amazing. It's like a simulcast going on here. And Keith from Tampa, it's good to see you as well. Carmen's giving you major high fives over here, Jasmine. Now, Jasmine, for you, for those folks who are there watching on Twitter or on Instagram, whatever, it's Instagram that you can do live stories, right?
Yeah.
For anyone who's just turning in, because your Instagram is on my feed right now, if anyone's tuning in, they're probably seeing something and they're like, whoa, this is a person who is already living a good life. Why would she want to scale up? Why would she want to level up her standards? Oh, that must be a nice privilege for her. What would you say to that? A person that might be kind of saying that, like, why would you want to level up? Why would you want to keep leveling up? Why wouldn't you just be happy with the fact that you made it this far?
So, the definition of happiness for me is growth. It is progress. It is moving forward. The progress should not be measured in terms of levels of happiness, but you just taking one step closer to who you want to be, to everything. It's just improvement, and it's what's fun. Don't get too overwhelmed of like, you have to do this. But you get to do this, and you want to be doing it, because why not? Why not have the best life ever? Why get stuck where you are at right now? Why not strive for more? Why not give more? Because personally, I think you not striving to becoming the best version of you and having the biggest and most success out there is being selfish. because you're denying God's gifts, the universe gifts that they have given you to show up and share these and just show up as more.
Amazing. I absolutely agree with that definition of happiness. I kind of think of it as like a flowing river, right? Like the flowing river is always moving, and when the water becomes stagnant, you fail to grow. So if you stay at that happiness level, then the water starts getting moldy, you know? You needed to keep moving. I want to keep on this idea of both choice and success, because it was midnight when I texted you the other 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know the time difference, and we were going to talk about this: success as a must. Is that what you're talking about in terms of why would you deny your gift to the world?
Yeah, I definitely see it for me as a must. It's more like a want to. So actually, I took out a couple of words out of my vocabulary that completely changed my life recently, and I no longer say I have to, or I must, or I should. I only use the word saying I want to or I get to, and it's just created so much more ease and flow, because now I only do things because I want to do them and not because I must do them or because I have to do them, but actually I get to do this. I get to do this podcast with you right now, not I have to do the podcast at 6 p.m. German time, but I get to do the podcast, and I'm excited to do it, and I want to be it. For example, right, smaller things like that, or a lot of chores or things, you want to do these things in order to get X, Y, Z, and the more ease and flow you get with that, it's going to be more fun and more flowy, and I'm all about having fun and having the biggest success ever. So if it's not fun, I'm not in. So, and people might be like, Jasmin, you're crazy. But actually, that is actually part of the big secret of my success, because it's like, you can't get burnt out when having fun,
I absolutely, I 100% agree with you. I think I was raised in a system in which it was like, you work hard, you work hard, you work hard, you work hard. And then when you turn 75, that's when you get to have fun. And I'm seeing all these folks who are like, oh my gosh, my whole life passed me by and I had all these regrets. And that's when I actually shifted over to positive psychology. I think this idea of choice is something that I really want to throw down with people, because a lot of people, I was studying on this theory last night called the broaden and build theory. And essentially it's when you feel positive emotions, your brain literally opens up like a lotus flower, and it sees more possibilities in the world. There were studies that were done, and your eyes literally start moving more. And so this idea of choice is this idea of you're seeing more of the world, you're seeing more of what's out there. And I think Viktor Frankl said it the best, but when people remove your choice, when people are telling you to stay inside, the one thing that they can't take away from you is your freedom to respond to the world however you want. No one can take that away from you except you. Only you can deny it. And I think that's a beautiful way of you kind of talking about why success is a must right now. Now, also at this time and place, why is scaling up a must? Because a lot of people are playing it safe here in the States.
Yeah, I honestly think right now is the time where you get to make a new choice, and you either take it or leave it. But if you want to have a more fun and fulfilling life, you're just gonna have to make that decision for you. And I can't make that decision for you.
Yeah.
Mom can't make that decision for you. But if you're watching this and you're just like, look, these guys are having fun, they're living their dream lives, and I'm not saying it's all, roses and fairy tales. We all have our own struggles, and we've been through tough times, and we've just spoken about family members, Mark, but in the end, it is what it is, and it's up to you to make the best out of it, and you have to see the opportunity. And I believe right now in this time, and as this time of Spain, it's a very tough time of Spain. We're going through the coronavirus. If you're watching this, months down the line or years down the line, we're going through the coronavirus pandemic. And this can be a time of reflection, of understanding and getting closer to oneself, and knowing that everything life throws at you, so to speak, is something that you have to use as a stepping stone and not a tumbling stone. So you want to make sure you use it as something that is going to lift you higher And literally like that little game, I'm gonna lighten it up a little bit. I don't know, this game when you like keep on like moving up, like Super Mario or something, you like keep flying higher, like birds or something. But this is literally how you're supposed to see it. It's like, this is the opportunity right now. We're all at home, or supposed to be at home, making sure we're taking time. We spoke about this earlier. But like, you can use this time. We're not waiting. We're not losing time. Things are not on pause. It's the time of reflection. This is the time to go inward and reflect and do the things you've never had time to do for you, for yourself, and do all the things you've always wanted to do, including really reflect on what it is that you actually want to be doing with life. Because it's so easy to just kind of walk through life, and we all perceive life as being something like a practice. This is not a rehearsal. This is the real deal. You know, you can't redo life. People live as if they're immortal. You know, they make choices every day, where I wonder and I say, look, you know, and I'm not saying that I don't make bad choices or, you know, that I'm perfect or blah, 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 but you can choose again. And if you keep on making the same choices over and over again and you don't choose again, you're not going to produce different results. That's why now more than ever, you have the time, you have the incentive. There's a lot of energetic shift. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of things online that can inspire you or help you. You know, we have the podcast. I'd love to give you a free webinar as well at the end that could inspire you. You know, we want to give you all these resources available, but it's up to you to use them, make use of them, and grow bigger. Because all I can say, you know, if I can do it, if Mark can do it, you can absolutely do it too. We're no different than you. We're all souls. We're all one. We're all together in this, you know, and I started from zero as well. Mark started from zero. Every single person out there who's now successful or anything like that, they started from scratch, and so can you, and it's never too late.
Absolutely, and you're getting some thumbs up here. You're getting some love. Walter Walter from Canada is saying to choose to see the opportunity in the challenge. Like he's totally vibing with you. Keith, who's the leader of the fun movement here in Florida. Keith, keep those people off the beaches. It's your responsibility. Life is fun. So you're getting folks. Danae is tuning in. It's good to see you. I wanted to throw this out there right now because you're making a very convincing argument, Jasmin. Now is a time to really sit back and really see this opportunity for us to kind of ease in, reflect in, think about some of the things that maybe we wanted as a kid, or think about some of that, some of the dreams that we had, and that maybe society told us, no, you can't do that. You can't. No. That's you have to do it this way, or people will think that you're crazy, right? And they're saying, no, Jasmin's making a good argument, but I'm scared as hell to do this, Jasmin. I'm scared to make these steps. I've never done anything like this before. Where does overcoming fear versus just blindly going forward and with fear and injuring yourself, like what are some ways that you can push through with fear or overcome fear once someone's like, this is my passion?
And you know what I actually love? I was just talking to one of my clients on a coaching call just before this. If you're stuck in fear, you're focusing on you and you're focusing on yourself rather than on what you have to give another other person. Because if you focus on serving and helping others, you can't be in fear because you're focusing on what you can give and you're coming from a place of love and service. So you want to be shifting your focus from yourself, your ego mind. You want to be focusing on what can you give, because a business is a place where you go to give and not to get. It is somewhere where you show up with so much love, so much support, all the tools and skills you have available, but also with your human soul, and you want to really focus on what can I give right now. But if you then detach from your inner fears and your ego mind and all those fears, that's when you start to release that fear as well. And the most important thing is definitely starting with a clear point in mind of understanding what is it that you would like to give, right?
Now, I wanted to throw this out there. When y'all go and hear the podcast, you're going to hear that Jasmin literally lived in fight or flight fear. It was fear for her own safety. It's very low on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. feeling of safety. It's probably as low as you can get on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And Jasmin, you didn't feel that at one point. You felt real, actual fear coursing through your body. Can you help us understand, like, how did you move that quickly from, either detaching from the ego? I mean, there's, if you listen to the podcast, you might identify some people who called the inner wounded child. The inner wounded child took some work, right? How did you move that quickly past everything and really have this explosive growth?
I do really believe that I just saw it as it just couldn't continue. Like, I just saw that there, when you hit, like I said earlier, like you've hit that kind of point in your life where you're just like, it just can't go on like that, and you have to make new choices. And at some point, when you're in that survival mode, you realize that, you have to step up. There's no one coming to get you. There's just no one that's going to, get you out of this. You're going to be the one who has to step up for yourself. And that's why I named my group Own Your Power for female coaches and consultants on Facebook, because that's literally what you have to do. Nobody will come and get you and save you. They might do, but it's just going to continuously weaken you and not actually allow you to step into your fullest potential, because you are just so much stronger than you could possibly think about, and you have all the answers. And at some point, you just have to step up and decide that you're getting out of this, and then your mind starts to think differently and sees the opportunities rather than what it needs to protect itself from. That's, where my neurobiology is coming in. But like, literally, it's where you focus on what is possible. Okay, like, what is the way out of it? It's literally like a mouse being trapped, and it's like, okay, like, now it's like either it's going to die or it's going to have to make another choice and get out of that situation, which sounds really tough, but that's just the way it is. So I decided, okay, I have to quit my job. And I started to think rational about it because my emotions were just so strong that, like, I couldn't even feel it. Was there a specific moment that made you move inward? There absolutely was. So I remember I was staring at the ceiling in my apartment, and I got home from work earlier because I realized that there was just no possibility of continuously going through this. I hated this job. I literally felt so disconnected with my entire life. I had hair loss. I gained weight. I was super depressed. Looked at the ceiling, could potentially not even feel my entire body anymore. And I was just like, what the hell are you doing with your life? Like, what the hell is this shit? Like, I'm sorry to curse or whatever, but at some point it was just unavoidable to see that it's time to move. Like, what do I need to do to get out of the situation? You can't continue going down that route if you don't decide to make a change.
I absolutely love it. I wish I could put flashing neon signs right here, because like the first part of this show, and hi Holly, it's good to see you over there in Texas. The first part of the show was really about choice. And then the second part that you're moving into is once you have that choice, part of the choice is staying empowered through the choice. And so it's this idea of agency, having the personal power and belief in yourself, not anyone else, that you will be able to accomplish the clear goal that you had set out for yourself. That's what I'm hearing. Am I off?
No, you're right. Okay. You're totally right. And I just want to say thank you, everybody as well on Insta, for all your love. Thanks, Thaddeus. Thanks, Catherine, everybody. I appreciate all of you. You guys are so sweet. But yeah, no, it's absolutely gorgeous. I honestly, you guys, there is no right or wrong, right? There is absolutely no right or wrong for anybody, and you decide how low you want to be sinking in that sense. And I'm not saying that to kind of be like, oh, you're sinking that low, but it's your decision until you've hit your threshold of pain. Like, there's certain areas in life where we don't actually let ourselves move into this position where it's like, this might be a diet for you, or you like, when you gain 1 or 2 pounds, you're like, oh shit, I'm gaining weight, let me stop eating so much. You have different thresholds for different areas of your life. So my boundaries for my relationship, my business success, my personal and mental health weren't as strong as they could have potentially been, and everybody has different things. Like, I was super bullied at school because I was always different, I was a little bit chubby, blah, blah, blah. I could have made an entire victim story around this. I could have totally got into my victim mode and think, oh, I'm so sorry for myself, look at me, blah, blah, blah. But instead, it showed up as low self-worth, right? And I'm sharing this because people are usually too afraid to share these kind of things online. I'm not sharing this for you guys to feel sorry with me. I'm sharing this because I want to share with you that no matter where you are at right now, you can move forward. You can build a 7-figure business. You can have as many clients as you want. You can live the freaking dream. You can do all these things. Because I was so introverted, I was completely on the other side of things, and only within a couple of years I was able to turn things around. And you can do this too. That's the reason why I share my story. And I didn't for a long time because I was afraid that people would think I'm weird, because I was afraid of judgment, blah, blah, blah. But in the end, it would be selfish of me not to, because all your struggles are given gifts to you to overcome so you can help others overcome these too.
It's it's that ego piece that you were talking about, right? Really getting caught up in things. I'm going to be bullied, blah, 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 blah. I remember the first time. It's 216 episodes, the first time I went on camera. And by the way, do you know why I've done 216 episodes? Because you can't cancel me, Jasmine! It's an ongoing joke.
Get comfortable on camera.
Maybe for the first, not for the first 100 episodes. I was very uncomfortable with the camera. I was very self-conscious of the way that I looked, the ums and the ahs and the stumbles that are just a part of the way that I speak, right? And just growing to a part of owning that, right? And so everyone's got this sort of self-conscious piece, but what if they think, what if, and those are the limiting factors, right? I really fucking hate this study because it was done on animals, and yet it was still one of the most quintessential studies. And so I'm separating my personal feelings and also the way that they looked at rat brains. And what they showed was this idea that rats that are shocked in a cage, and if you think of us as humans, sometimes we go through traumas, bullied, we feel a little bit different. Everyone feels they're a little bit different. There's a psychology to that. It's what makes you universally different, universally unique, gloriously unique, right? But like, it feels like these rats get shocked in a cage, and then when they actually open the cage door up, the rats don't exit because they just feel like their whole life they're gonna get shocked. And the thing is, the door is wide open for them to walk through into a new life. I'm not saying we're all rats being shocked. Jasmine's not saying we're all victims of things, but also at the same time, it might just be a great time to sit back and reflect. Where can we take more power? Where can we take more agency? Where can we have more of a voice? Rather than coming home from work, I don't know if you did this when I was working for someone, I'd come home from work and I'd be like, it wasn't a great day at work, but at least this didn't happen. Like, I was settling for a life. I wasn't living full out. I was settling for a life.
It's okay. It's fine.
Oh my gosh! Yes. And the thing was part of what I love that you're saying, Jasmine, is this idea of leveling up your expectations for success and lowering your threshold for bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I like that. We should totally quote that. You have to lower your threshold for bullshit. But it's the truth. Honestly, like, people, like, they ask me, like, I'm a specialist in high-ticket sales and blah, blah, blah. And I say to my clients, look, there's always a sale happening on every single phone call. Either you sell them into their solution, or your client or your ideal client is selling you their bullshit story and you get sold on that. And you accept their BS excuses. There's always a sale happening. Either they sell you on their bullshit, or you actually help them and give them the solution that they need. Because either way, if they want this solution and they're committed and they believe that you can help them, there's no reason why they shouldn't be signing up.
Okay, I just saw something really fierce start coming out there. I have a feeling that in that I have a feeling in that Facebook group there's some truth being told.
Oh, there is definitely.
What is one of the biggest truths that you often find yourself telling either clients or yourself?
That success is a science and it's inevitable, and that's why I love that you started it. It's not like a matter of if, and my client's like, is it really going to happen? I'm like, look, it's up to you. It can happen and it will happen. Here's the strategy. All you got to do is work on your mindset and implement it. I give you the tangible step by step, so it's not a matter of will it work? It will work if you make it work. It's time for you to allow it to work. Let it work, right? And allow that kind of feeling and sense of like it's inevitable. Success is a science. It's like baking a cake. If you keep putting the same ingredients in the same sequence with the same things, there's no reason for you to fail unless you don't try and don't do it. And it's like, look, how many clients do you want to be signing up? Okay, great. How many calls should you be making? Okay, great. Now, what strategies are you using? Okay, great. Now, if you duplicate that, why should it not work? It will work.
There's
but you
a
have
scientific methodology to some of these
100%.
pieces, right?
Yep.
I am, you're very, I really love your use of language, and you use this word allowance, and I wanna go there for a second. I think this is an I statement, but I think a lot of people don't allow enough things for themselves, and also with that is the word receiving. A lot of people aren't open to receiving. What is your take on that, as well as this idea of attracting abundance?
Yeah. So, like I said, so the first thing is your belief. So if you don't believe it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. Bless you, Mark. So if you don't believe it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. So once you believe that it's happening and you're specific on the what, you allow the how to come. If you consciously in an anxiety mindset focus on the how, you're never going to get to the point of making it happen. So that's the kind of logical way of thinking about it. Truth being said, I believe in law of attraction. I believe that like attracts like. So if you feel ready for it, it will show up for you and it will happen. So it's as basic as the law of gravity, like attracts like. If you are in that kind of alignment of believing it, of seeing it, of feeling into it, having fun, taking inspired, aligned action, it will happen for you. That's truthfully what I believe. And that's the way of allowing it. If you're constantly like making it happen and you're trying so hard, and it's like, then you just kind of like, it's not going to work. It's just not going to happen for you because you're putting so much pressure, and there's sometimes reason why things don't work out. If you're really trying to just like really forcing things and it's just not meant to be and you're trying too hard, maybe you should ask yourself, what's another way to look at this? What could be greater?
Mm-hmm. I also think that idea of trying too hard happens like with the recent up level that you just had. If you were to maintain yourself at a certain standard, you'd be trying too hard because you're outgrowing your former self, right? Yeah. And so we always have to be asking ourselves this question: is what's another way to look at this, right? Yeah. This idea of belief is so powerful. There's a program I'm going to be doing that's based off of this story, The Knight in Rusty Armor. It's a Spanish story, right? And essentially, this knight had to fight a dragon, right? The thing was the dragon was representative of the knight's fear, and the first time the knight went to fight the dragon, he was beat. But as the knight began to realize, this is not real. This dragon is not real. The only reason I'm getting burned by its fire is because I think that the fire is real. And so I start acting like I'm burned. But it's an illusion. It's a total illusion. And as he approached the second time the dragon, it got smaller and smaller. And the closer he got to it, the more it just shrank and shrank until it finally disappeared. And he just walked right through it. And I think that's the way of, we think that we have to battle these dragons and like you were talking about, we white knuckle through things. And that's the way we've been taught. But no, not really. There's this benevolent river that's flowing, baby. And all we got to do is just get on a raft and ride it and smile and have a good old time, And then the other piece you're talking about with abundance is just adding the strategies. Is that what I'm hearing? Strategy plus belief? Did we lose each other?
Mark, I think you just cut out for 1 sec.
Oh, it's because our energy is too strong. It's cutting off. Can you hear me?
I just heard something about belief and then you cut off a sec.
Oh yeah, the second piece in attracting abundance, would it be beliefs and strategies? Is that the combination?
Yeah, so it's definitely clear, and this is actually something that I go more into detail in my webinar, the 3 steps to 6 figures, because I mean, there's no way I can put the 45-minute webinar in, you know, just 17 minutes or something like that. So if you guys want to really know like a step-by-step system of like going from like 0 to 20K months, even if you don't have a following, and how I was able to help my clients do the same, please go ahead and check out my webinar. I think we're going to share it at the end as well, but in case you have to drop off, let me just, it's jasminmanke.com/6figures.
And we just posted it on the Facebook site.
Posted it as well, cool. So like that's something where I go more in detail, but just to give you like a bird's eye overview, it's definitely, you know, mindset, strategy, and getting the help you need, kind of in a nutshell. I do go more into kind of details as well, but you know, just to kind of give you that kind of overview of things, it's really important to recognize that unless you have a step-by-step system, it's going to be almost like a roadmap. You know, it is going to be almost impossible to get there. And the tricky thing now is, because obviously we want to focus on the what and not the how, that's where things, you know, people mess up the most, and that's why I really try to outline it. You know, if somebody's telling you that there's like one golden pill or one magic pill that you can just swallow and make it work, it's just not the truth. Or it's not just one strategy. You know, it's a combination of a couple of things, and everything's unique to yourself. So that's kind of what I'm underlining as well. But mindset definitely comes first. You know, mindset is really everything, because you're not going to take the kind of big inspired action unless you feel like you can achieve the goal, because then you're not going to be 100% in on it of making it happen, of doing it. So that's why always the mindset kind of thing does come first, and then the strategy. And most coaching courses are designed to just give you the strategy. But you know, for me, the Confident Boss Academy is literally the first, you know, entire week is just about structuring and rewiring your brain of hitting a new identity and up-leveling to believing that you can consistently be earning $10,000 a month plus as a female coach or consultant. Because if you don't believe it, your clients are not going to believe it, and I could be giving you all the strategies, you're not going to be able to actually implement them anyways, or with that kind of motivation or enthusiasm of actually believing that the outcome will also happen for you. So I hope this makes sense.
So much stuff to cover, and it's in the webinar there. If you're just listening right now, it's Jasmin with no E, Manke, MANKE/6, the number figures, 6 figures /6
JasminManke.com. Yeah, JasminManke.com/6 figures. Absolutely.
So I gotta go into this. So you've lived a lot of life. You've traveled a lot of places. You've met with a lot of people. Top moment in your business, either personally, family, or in a client that you saw. What was like the defining moment? If you only had like 30 seconds to talk about, summing it all up.
Okay, so that's hard. Can I give you like 3? One of my
Let's do it.
So like one of my favorite things was being interviewed on TV by Jack Canfield. I love him so much. And we literally sat down at his home in Santa Barbara, and we looked at each other and we're like, have I met you before? And it was just like soul connection. And when you realize that, you know, I did ayahuasca in December, he did ayahuasca in November, and it was this instant soul connection. I was like, Jack Canfield did ayahuasca, like what the, you know, I would never imagine that. For you guys, if you don't know what ayahuasca is, go check out my YouTube video on ayahuasca. It's just Jasmin Manke Coaching. You can check it out more. It's a whole other conversation.
It is, and we did talk about it on the podcast with your mom. You did ayahuasca with your mom. That's so freaking cool.
Yep. So that's the other thing, and then one other thing was my first client having her first, like this was one of my first clients, first 5 clients I've ever had, and she hit like a 30K month. And I didn't even teach business strategy back then. You know, I like just the basics. You know, now we teach like so much more into detailed stuff and Facebook ads and whatnot and high ticket sales strategy. But it was so easy for her, and she's actually from IPEC too. And it's funny because I sat down at a Tony Robbins webinar, and she was sat next to me, and she was just like, I know you're going to help me get my business. Like, you just instantly know. And these kind of like soul alignment moments that just don't even have any explanations behind them and are just so aligned. These are like some of my favorite moments. And then the third one is just meeting beautiful people like you, for example, Mark. And it's like, it's so random, but not, you know, that you just meet people that you would have possibly never imagined. And this is the kind of world that you just, I just can't imagine anymore. And unfortunately, right now, when I'm in Berlin and I go out to restaurants and I smile at people and I'm like confused, like why not everybody is as happy as I am and life is good, and you know, it's like once you've tapped into this kind of like environment and feeling, it's like it's almost like you just become a happier individual. And it's like, I think success is not what happens like on social media or things like that, but it's like just you smiling because you're actually happy. And I know my entire team, all my employees, my clients, my friends, everybody knows that this is generally who I am. This is generally how I show up. This is generally how I live my life. And I think that is like the purity of actual success, is not you putting up a facade of showing up on social media and this is, you know, looking great, but or you know, you actually are happy and feel great. I think that is a huge one, and I know I've taken way longer than 30 seconds, so I'm sorry.
Not at all. I was hoping this question would light you up. That's why we had extra time for it. I think one of the things too. Hey, Majid, calling me Professor Cordone. It's good to see you, brother. One of the things too is these little micro moments of positivity that you give out to others not only make you feel good, but again, empirical data has shown that people function better in life. I mean, function better when they experience small gifts from other people. So like, they did this study where they gave people like these Tootsie Rolls and they put them in like special plastic, and then they gave people a test. And people did statistically significantly better on the tests, the ones who received the gift. So like, just those little things, it's not just, again, shits and giggles type of happiness. This stuff has a cause and effect in the world that you wouldn't imagine when you're approaching life to this. And I absolutely agree with you, Jasmin. And I'm looking down here at like folks like Keith. And I was having a similar conversation. He runs the Fun Movement, and it looks like he liked your webinar. See you in the webinar, Keith. But like, you know, when things start, moving and you start changing that mindset a little, people start showing up, and it's this familiar type of showing up. It's like, oh, this is what at first it's like, this is what I always dreamed of, and then it just becomes a normalcy. It's like, can't wait to meet the random stranger that shows up in my life that's a soulmate again today. You know, it's really, really wonderful. Now, Jasmin, your service is amazing, and I just wanted to thank you for everything that you're doing to put that service out in a major way. The YouTube channel is on the Facebook Live. Also at the same time, jasminmanke.com/sixfigures. That's where to go for the lockstep procedures to really think about if you are sitting here being like, I'm tired of the fear, I'm tired of feeling like a victim sometimes, and this has been enough. I'm ready to start moving. If you know it's time to start moving, it's got to be your choice to click on that or not.
Yeah.
You can't do any more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, and I think this is the most painful thing. And by the way, somebody said I have an echo today. Is my voice okay? I hope everything's fine. I'm sorry if it wasn't.
That's why we've got it recorded, Danae. But I was trying to adjust the levels here. If anyone else is hearing the echo, let us know.
Yeah, please do, because I hope it was fine. Thanks for mentioning, though. I appreciate it. But anyways, the most important thing that I wanted to say is, well, like, you could be handing somebody, like, you know, a life vest, like, in a boat, and it's their choice to take it. So that's what we're doing with you guys right now. Maybe you don't believe in yourself yet. It doesn't hurt to check it out. So if you're a female coach, consultant, or aspiring to really get to 10K months plus in your business, or maybe that's not you and you know somebody who could benefit from it, because I really believe in sharing. I believe in, you know, somebody shared IPEC with me, and without IPEC, I would have not met so many beautiful people, you know. I would have not been able to create such beautiful friendships. The things that he says I sound extra fun. I love that. You're awesome. Yeah. Understand you have the fun movement. That's like totally something in your life. We should totally connect, Keith. I love it because my business values are all about, you know, having fun, serving clients, and making so much money. So yeah, that's if that sounds something like you want, say hi. All
does that sound like fun? Is that fun to you?
Yeah. But yeah, seriously, it's been a blast. I've had the best time ever, Mark. Thanks for having me. I'm so glad. I'm so grateful this worked out.
Yes, I am too.
I cannot wait to connect and see. And if anybody has any questions, you know, please don't be afraid. You know, check out the webinar, or if you want to DM me on Insta, Jasmin Manke Coaching, it's all in there for you guys. Just reach out, say hi. You know, and I think the most important thing is just connection, is being there for each other, asking vulnerably, and showing up authentically.
Absolutely. I've got one final question for you, and this is the thing. We've posted up the Golden Mike podcast link. It's goldenmikepodcast.com/018. 018. You numerologists, let us know what those numbers mean. But that's the podcast number. She was show number 18. It's a deep dive into Jasmin. I asked Jasmin, what is she like when no one else is around? I can't wait for you to hear the answer. I can't wait for you to hear what happens when she talks about taking ayahuasca with her mom. And who was the one with the notebook? Okay, it was an amazing, amazing conversation, and I can't wait to keep in touch with you as well, Jasmin. Thank you so much. I have one final question for you. Maybe it's a visioning activity in honor of IPEC. There's a reason why the show is called the Golden Mike, and in Germany right now, 7 o'clock, I want you to imagine that there's a golden mic that is coming down from your ceiling, Jasmin, and is coming to rest in front of you. Now, this golden mic, Jasmin, has the potential to translate to every language, to every sentient being, to every point in the multiverse. So everyone is listening, and a few people are going to pick up what you're about to throw down. A few people are going to need to hear what you're about to throw down. So, Jasmin, I'm about to turn on this golden mic and ask you what you have to say. So, Jasmin Manke, you are live on the golden mic now.
Okay, so grab my lipstick. So never settle, do not give up, and always see the opportunity in every hurdle that comes your way. So if you see something as a problem, shift your focus and always focus on what could this bring you for the higher good. Don't see it as an end result. Don't think that just because it looks bad right now that's bad. Always trust God, the universe has a higher meaning. Something greater is coming. Just do not give up. Keep moving forward and have fun. And love yourself.
Amazing. Do you feel the weight in that golden mic? Do you feel the gravity of what you just said to the multiverse? I want you to just hold that golden mic.
Mark, I was like, great. Not but I just felt, but then you trust, you guys, you just trust. Like whatever is coming, whatever, just feel into it. There's no right or wrong. Like hear me from a recovering perfectionist. Like, oh my God, is this the right thing? Is this the right thing? It's the right thing for now. So say it, accept it, and move on. If you didn't like it, you can learn from it, do it better next time. But just feel it, be you. And this is something I had as a download I did as a meditation the other day. It's like, the world doesn't need, you don't need to learn anything. You just have to be more you and share more with the world. And that's why, you know, these Facebook Lives are brilliant, because people can really get to know you and show up. But if you're not willing to share and show yourself and be more you, how are people to see your light?
Amazing. Look, she can't stop with the golden mic. We can't shut it off. We're just going to have to leave a golden mic there. Exactly. We're going to have to leave a golden mic there in Germany and then ship one to London for you. Jasmin, thank you so much. Everybody over on Jasmin's page watching live, thank you so much. The podcast is up. The 6 figures is up. And I've got one final question for all of you watching from me and Jasmin, and it's this. If you're feeling good and you're living life in your full purpose, what is your responsibility to change history for the better? This has been Golden Mike 216 with Mark and Jasmin. We'll see you real soon, guys. Bye.